In today's video, we're going to be discussing how to promote independent play. How do I get my child or children to be able to play by themselves long enough to give me the opportunity to go finish that chore? Play, as inherent as a skill as it may seem, it's not necessarily a built-in skill for your child to know how to entertain themselves. So by the end of today's video, we're going to have a scientific-based approach to address that behavior, but don't let that freak you out. I swear it's going to be user-friendly. Let's get started. Welcome back. If this is our first time meeting, my name is Alicia Tomowski, and this is my channel, The Parent Brain Ball Game. Because let's be honest, guys, sometimes this parent brain, it is just not all that intuitive. And you have to play ball with your kids, both figuratively and literally, to get that job done. Here, my passion is to provide you with parenting tools, not tips, tricks, or hacks, but parenting tools that have an applied behavior analysis foundation, and I like to think that I make them user-friendly. Now, I want to set you guys up for success. I like to speak relatively quickly throughout these videos. The odds are, as you're a caregiver and you have a short amount of time that you're working with anyways, so I kind of need to drop that knowledge as quickly as possible. So go get yourself a notebook and let's get started. Now, independent play. It is the most coveted type of play that most parents have. That is not to say that we don't love playing with our children, but that is to say that we have other things that we need to upkeep around the household. But I want to make sure that we all have age-appropriate expectations for how long our child is going to be engaging in independent play. So I'm going to link a resource below and make sure you check that out. Now let's just keep on moving forward with the type of strategies that we're going to be using. We're going to be using fading and floor time, or naturalistic environment. Now, fading, you are either pushing in or pulling out something from your kiddo's environment. In this particular case, we are pulling you out of play. Now, unfortunately, what most parents like to do, or unfortunately most parents do, is you kind of end up taking the lead role in play. And quite frankly, you ask a lot of questions. There's a lot of like, oh, look, here's a cow. What does the cow say? Oh, look, the cow's going in the farm. There's the farm. Let's go into the farm. You are doing trigonometry 101. Nobody wants to play with that. Those are for your early learners. For your older learners, you guys are being a lot more verbose in that imaginative play than you really need to be. So what do we need to do? First and foremost, you need to address the type of toys that you're presenting to your children. In both cases, you want to kind of present toys that forces your child to either A, explore for those early learners, meaning something that their child is opening and closing. It's got to push. They've got to dump things in, to cause and effect type of things. For older learners, again, something that's like a toy structure like tractors or Barbie dolls or farms, things that they have an opportunity to engage in an imagination. What you don't want to do is provide your child with toys that are like light up, that are musical, that all your child has to do is push a button and that thing dances like a monkey. We don't want to do that because your child is not engaging in play. Your child is becoming a passive player. We don't want to do that. So what do? We do floor time. What does floor time mean? We move the party to the floor. Now, yes, first and foremost, what you're going to be doing, you're going to be kind of like a equal partner with your child. Equal partner, you're not the star of the play, you're a co-star. So at which point you're not providing as much language. For our early learners, we're just kind of watching, we're kind of sitting back and we're maybe adding another toy, we're adding maybe a little bit more language and or a little bit more noise. For our older learners, maybe we're adding a little bit more ideas, but again, you're not trumping them, you're just kind of adding. Then we kind of start fading out. You can do this within the same day. You can do this across days. You kind of start fading yourself out a little bit. You start providing a little bit less and less language, a little bit less and less maybe suggestions. Your toy starts moving further and further away, and then you go do that laundry and you come back, and then maybe you go do those dishes and then come back. And then if and when you catch your child in engaging in that independent play, and I know that I've been kind of like pushing praise-specific reinforcement, we are not going to reinforce. What we're going to do is you're going to walk away. Eye contact, none. You're going to allow your child to engage in that independent play by themselves without an interruption from you. You have to think of it in this sense. If you are engrossed in a book, or you're engrossed in a novel or something like that. Like if someone comes over and like, oh, I really like how you're reading that novel, you're gonna look up from reading the novel and be like, what the, I mean, you just literally interrupted my mojo here. And I'm gonna give you 2 clips. The first clip is gonna be of my son. My son he's reading a book at this point, and he's kind of like one of those feel touch books, and he's just kind of engaging in by himself. So I'm going to show you a quick clip of him engaging in the book by himself, and I just kind of like disappear. I just kind of go check on him. So let's go check that out. Now, you'll notice in that clip, all I did is I went to go check on him, and then I kind of like, oh, okay, he's doing good. I'm not going to interrupt the baby, and that's what you want to do. You don't want to interrupt your children in that independent play. Now, I'm going to show you video clip number 2. When I did interrupt that play, when I did unfortunately provide that praise-specific reinforcement that I know I always push on you guys, but in this particular instance, you don't want to do it, and let me show you why. Good job reading. Look at you reading so nicely. Good job. Good job, buddy. Little me. Now, you'll see the difference with that video is I went to go provide that praise-specific reinforcement, and what did my son do? He immediately disengaged in independent play and came running. He's like, oh yeah, let's go play, Mom. What you got for me, Mom? You don't want to do that. What you want to do is you want to originally engage your child. But again, you're not the leader. You're like the co-star. You're kind of stepping back, and eventually you're just kind of background noise. So you're fading yourself out. And then once your child engages in that independent play and they're playing, we don't make eye contact. We creep around the house. We let our child play by themselves. And then once that independent play is over and my child comes and seeks me out, then I provide that praise-specific reinforcement. You didn't really think I was just not going to provide the reinforcement for that, did you? So then we tell our child, oh my gosh, I loved how you were just playing. Then we say, can you go show me what you were doing? What were you doing? Oh my gosh, were you playing with the animals? Were you reading a book? Come show me. And then guess what? This is now our opportunity to add on to that play. Now, after my child is starting to show me like, oh, this is what my animal was doing. Oh, this is what the truck was doing. Oh, this was the book I was reading. I get out another book. I get out another truck. I add on to their imagination. I reinforce the great play, but then I add on and I provide other language. So maybe next time their imaginative play can get a little bit longer. But again, keep in mind, you want to have age-appropriate expectations for your kiddo. With that, it wraps it up for me today, guys. If you found value in today's video, don't forget to hit subscribe and that little bell button that lets you know when I have any future other trainings. And if you have any interest in maybe other behaviors or skills that you want me to talk about, please mention it below. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.